Hey everyone, welcome back. So yes, it is an Apex video from me today. Now, I have been posting some other different videos. I've been posting slightly less amounts of Apex videos. I'm just doing a little bit of other content. But of course, you know, Apex Legends is a game that I do love, and I obviously do want to still post videos about. So today's kind of thing is just a little bit talking about the sort of Season 7 overview, kind of just my thoughts about it, some definitely some issues within the game still, unfortunately, and just kind of cover a few things, the positives and the negatives, because that's probably the fairest thing to do. Now, before we get into it, do remember to never stop moving, and never stop believing, and stay Apex. Right, well, let's get into the content then. So with Season 7, I mean, it's been out for about a week and a day, thereabouts. So yeah, I mean, like, obviously it is still early impressions, but a week of playing gives you some ideas of the kind of thing that you're dealing with. Now, as I say, I mean, regarding the new map, yes, I do actually like the new map a lot more, and I'm starting to know it now. I'm starting to feel the positional, and I places that I like going to. You know, there's a few places that are insanely hot, like gardens. Every time you drop there, it is absolutely crazy, and there's always a ton of people. Let me know in the comments, do you guys drop there on purpose, or do you find it the same thing? Because, yeah, I mean, every time I go there with JHD or Viper, we just find it an absolute nightmare. Now, I will say that in regards to some of the balancing, I mean, like, Loba is really playable now. I think she's actually a lot of fun. I still don't feel like she's been fixed in all of the ways that I would have personally liked to see. And, you know, having done sort of concept videos and things like that, I would have loved to have seen her in a slightly better place in regarding to her own personal thing. And also the same with Octane. Now, as you can see in the background, I am playing Octane, and actually he is still just the same as a lot of fun. His health regenerates slightly quicker, but whereas I hear, you know, sometimes with YouTubers, you know, them saying how amazingly good it is, I don't feel like it's as good as perhaps they're saying. Yes, I mean, okay, you know, gaining a little bit of health, as you can see in the corner, regarding the revive, but realistically, yeah, you're going to still need to heal up. It's not going to heal you. Now, the only thing is that here, you know, admittedly, I could have, by the time I healed, taken a syringe rather than a med pack, and that was probably a waste, but there were plenty of stuff. We had loads of heals, so I didn't really care. But in normal circumstances, I wouldn't have necessarily done that, because I'd have just thought, hey, you know, I can manage, that's fine. Now, in regards to sort of like the game itself, I mean, as I said, the map is really cool. I love the design. I think they did a really good job with it. Now, there's two things that majorly I kind of am finding of issues. There's a couple other things as well. So one of them is actually the lag. So I've said it before in previous videos, so anyone who's watched it will know that that is still an experience that we're encountering, and it is a shame, because on PS4, the lag is really bad 90% of the time. Now, admittedly, me and JHD had some games earlier, probably a few hours ago, and actually the games we had, there wasn't really the same lag. Now, we did encounter some cheats, which seems to be growing in number, where they're just hitting every shot no matter where you are. They seem to find you no matter where you hide, and they seem to just know everything about, preemptively know what you're going to do. It's getting worse on PS4. I know PC is a very highlighted thing for how many cheaters there actually are, but I do feel like, you know, reporting players, a system needs to be better, because I'm not being funny, but on PS4 at least, you click on the player's profile that you want to report, you click on options, it says report, but then you can't actually report them, and that is absolutely awful. You know, how can we feed back and say, look, this guy seemingly is cheating, we suspect him of being very suspicious, just the way he played, the way he's hitting every bullet, he's jumping in the air doing 360s and still hitting us, there's something very wrong, and that is not something that we can easily address, because again, this is the problem, we're just being, you know, able to, you can click the report, but it won't actually report or come up with anything, so they need to sort that out. And I hopefully, you know, if you guys see it and able to post some feedback and some posts on Reddit, Twitch, all those things, it would be absolutely amazing. Twitter and as well, and Facebook, all those sort of media things that they can look at, it would be really good to, of course, the more feedback, the better. because it is quite upsetting, you know, when you get sort of like knocked out by a cheater. That was what we encountered tonight, me and JHD. So we didn't encounter the lag in the same way, which was really, really nice. But we did encounter some cheaters, and there were definitely cheaters out there that were just ridiculous, which was frustrating. But the lag was a little bit better tonight, which is nice, and we were able to have some good games. But normally, 90% of the time, the lag is really terrible, and it is quite hard to get good games because you just can't see anything. Next minute you're instantly down, you didn't even see a bullet fire, and it's kind of, you know, annoying because you can't react in lightning quick time. And, you know, and it's a bit like, you know, with that guy, I mean, that was a little bit of a lag thing. I mean, luckily we downed him, but I mean, yeah, I don't even know what happened there. It was absolutely crazy. So, you know, that is a big, big thing. Now, also as well, one of the other things is the audio. Now, audio, excluding tonight, actually, where the audio seemed a lot better, we have had audio cutouts where there's been no audio when the guns are firing. You can't even tell you're being shot, and there were a few frustrating times, which I have got some videos about, and I don't really want to post lots of negative things because, you know, look, as I said, I love the game, but there are some things where, you know, the game definitely needs a bit of a look at, and it needs just a little bit of fixing, and that's kind of something that I would really, really love to see. Now, I will just say that this little clip here, I'm not an Octane main, unfortunately. I do use him, I do like him. I should have thrown down a jump pad and literally let the Loba or my teammate Viper bounce off into the distance to, of course, actually, you know, get away and for me to be able to heal. Instead, I choose to run away. Don't do that. Definitely don't do that. Storm does less damage, so yeah, it's definitely not advisable. But yeah, I mean, like with the audio, it is definitely something that's a little bit frustrating. Now, regarding the weapon meta, I mean, the weapon meta isn't as frustrating. You know, I mean, like the L-Star doesn't seem that buffed, it doesn't seem that broken, the Vault still seems OP as hell, the Hemlock doesn't really seem that much worse, so I'm not quite sure what the nerf was necessarily, and I play on PS4, and I just thought, yeah, I mean, actually it seems pretty damn good. But, you know, I mean, as the sort of like the season of the map and the sort of general parts, that side of things is really good. Now, if they could actually fix the audio bugs, which they say that the audio is going to be fixed. Now, let's face it, you know, who wants to see kind of like, you know, heavy footsteps from your teammate, but then no footsteps from an enemy? And I've had that quite a lot of times. Not so much in this particular game, which was alright, but there were other games where the audio was terrible, didn't know what was happening, and next minute I've got someone right behind me, and they're shooting me, and we're dead. Skill-based matchmaking is still something that none of us like, but again, that's just going to remain in the game, and the overpriced things in the shop is something that I would love to see the back of, because, again, I do feel that the prices are too expensive for what we kind of get. But overall, I mean, Apex Legends is, you know, it is still a fun game to play, but I feel like it is a game that you have to kind of just try and play a little bit, then kind of, you know, stop playing and go back to it when you enjoy it, because it is very much a kind of a game that's going to get frustrating. The more you play, the harder the people you go against, and of course, the more frustrated you'll get because you're just going to get melted due to audio problems and lag, and some insanely good players, because there are plenty of them about. But what do you guys think about, you know, Season 7 at the moment? I mean, I definitely think it's better than Season 6. There's 100% no doubt. I mean, if they fix a couple of issues, I do feel like this season could be a much better one and actually much more enjoyable. So let me know in the comments below how you're finding it. I mean, are you playing ranked? Are you finding, you know, the game enjoyable? Do let me know. Now, obviously, I've still got my club, Apex Meridian 44. You can join that if you want. If you want some friends to play with and enjoy, then that would be great. But otherwise, do remember to never stop moving, never stop believing, and stay Apex. If you want to drop a like on the video, please do. And if you want to subscribe, that would be amazing. Otherwise, see you in the next video. Bye.